she just repeated the phrase over and over again, I hit him, I hit him.
Google hypothermia, Google how long it takes to die in the cold.
Did you either cut up the SIM card or rip it up?
Cut it up or broke it. I observed a damaged rear right tail light.
No nude so far. I hate that man. I truly hate him.
These injuries were from an animal attack, possibly a large dog.
Yes.
A new high-profile prosecutor could end up tipping the scales against Karen Reed when she is retried for manslaughter. The Norfolk District Attorney announced this week that defense attorney Hank Brennan has been named Special Assistant DA. Brennan famously defended notorious mobster Whitey Bulger. He'll join the existing prosecution team that was led by Adam Lawley. Brennan said in a statement that he will ensure Karen Reed gets a fair trial and will prosecute this, quote, meticulously, ethically, and zealously, without compromise. Karen Reed's first trial, of course, ended in a hung jury. She was charged with second-degree murder in the death of her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe. She's scheduled for retrial in January. If it goes, she, of course, has that appeal going after those jurors came forward and said that they had indeed come to a unanimous decision on a couple of the charges against her, including the top charge of second-degree murder. So whether January actually hits, we'll have to wait and see. There could be some delays in it. Bottom line is, they're bringing in some ammo. The Commonwealth is, let's bring in our guests. They know everything about whatever happens in the legal world up in Massachusetts or New England. Criminal defense attorney Joseph Krowski Jr. and former chief trial counsel and former head of the homicide unit in Norfolk DA's office, Richard Grundy. Good morning, gentlemen. Happy Friday to you.
Good morning.
Joseph, to you first. What do you know about Mr. Brennan, the special prosecutor brought in to help out the Commonwealth for round 2?
Well, I can tell you this. Can you hear me? I'm on vacation, so I'm not getting great connection. Okay. I'll tell you this. Hank Brennan's not a very good golfer, but he is a wonderful attorney. No one is going to outlawyer him. No one is going to outwork him. No one is going to outthink him. There are lawyers that say they work 100 hours a week. Then there's Hank Brennan, who works 100 hours a week.
This, do you agree, Richard?
I haven't had that much exposure to Mr. Brennan. He hasn't been all that active in the prosecution offices that I've been in charge of, but his reputation is exactly as Joe put out there. And, you know, the more interesting factor here, I think, is that there is a special prosecutor, and more than the majority of times when a district attorney's office seeks a special prosecutor in a case, it's because of a conflict, which we don't necessarily have here, and they get an assistant district attorney from another district attorney's office, which in this case could have been a seasoned homicide prosecutor. So I think there's a lot more here, and let's also remember that the vast majority of the jury, 2/3 of the jury, felt that Ms. Reed was in fact guilty during the last trial. So the appointment of a special prosecutor is somewhat not suspect, but there's a lot of different motivations to that than the normal, I think. But as far as Attorney Brennan is concerned,
Joseph, what are your thoughts on that? The idea that, I mean, why do you need reinforcements?
Sure. Lori, bring me your phone.
Looks like we lost. Joseph, we can hear you. I guess you can't hear us very well. He's on vacation. He's enjoying a day off. So, Richard, let's pick up on that while we work out Joseph. Why do you need reinforcements? You know the case. The second time around, you should be able to pull off the same scenario or better, one would think. What do you think is behind this? Is this overwhelming need to win and bury Karen Reed?
No, I think if that were the sole motivation, you go to another district attorney's office, you say, give me your best seasoned prosecutor. I want to have add some cleanness, some legitimacy to this prosecution team that got battered by the state troopers that the district attorney personally chose to be in his office. I think there's got to be more of a motivation here that is probably and in all likelihood political. It's not an unusual circumstance that even though Mr. Marcy is not up for election, the district attorney, for some time, there are people now, and one of them actually went to press, opened a campaign account that he's going to run for Norfolk County District Attorney. So I think it is linked to that, to put somewhat of a different face on it. As we said, Attorney Brennan has a good reputation. And secondarily, I would say that Sandra Birchmore, who was a young woman killed by a Stoughton police officer, now under indictment by the U.S. attorneys, and the constant or the ongoing need for the U.S. Attorney's Office to step in and do the Norfolk District Attorney's business is likely a motivation as well.
Yes, Birchmore adding more to the dark cloud that is over that office in many people's minds. I think we have Joseph is back.
Let's try it.
What's the motivate? Why do you think the Commonwealth needed reinforcements?
Well, two reasons. Clearly, this is not a one-attorney job. The defense was well-resourced. The amount of discovery is significant. It's complex, the involvement with the federal government. But I think this is a signal from District Attorney Morrissey that he's in it to win it. Also, you have to remember there was a lot of criticism that the relationship between the police department and the district attorney's office was too close. I think it's a stroke of genius to bring in someone that's independent, autonomous, with no pre-existing relationships with the law enforcement in this case, because it is a case of public interest. So I think he answers that criticism and also strengthens his prosecution team significantly.
Richard, round two, you still have Trooper Proctor. You still have the issues that are embedded in this case for the Commonwealth. How do you think they present and get around those issues second time around? What have they learned, and what would you do now going around it, specifically with the problems in the investigation?
Well, the first thing I do is see the extent that I can limit the use of those individuals at trial. We all know that you can't hide these things, so you have to put it, the defense is going to put it out there, so you want to address it head on. But the prosecution this time will be in the position that they should have been last time if the administration, in my opinion, had acted correctly. And that is to say, he is no longer a part of this prosecution. He was excised. He was taken out of the district attorney's office. And remember, in Massachusetts, those state troopers are assigned, housed, and take direction from the district attorneys themselves. So Attorney Lally should have been able in the first trial to say, we got rid of him. We heard these things, we got rid of him. Instead, he's still there. One of his superiors was asked that he receive any kind of punishment for this. And his answer was, well, I told the higher-ups to. So message, no, he hadn't. So now you're in a position, you craft, I think you can craft your evidence around other witnesses and then put your best foot out forward that you took some action to excise this person.
Joseph, the appeal in terms from the defense is going up to try to reverse the trial court's judgment that there should not be a different charges on the plate, that they shouldn't get rid of the two charges because of the jurors that came forward and said they were in agreement getting rid of murder two, etc. Do you think that at the end of the day, Karen Reed will still be facing the top charge of murder two, or do you think it's going to get reversed on appeal, A, and then B, is January really going to take place, or is this appeal going to push the trial in your estimation?
Well, the single justice referred it to the full bench, which means it has to be briefed. I think inevitably that is going to delay the trial. I don't know how they get it briefed and argued and decided before January. I don't think that the appeal will be successful. Ultimately, it's going to be up to the district attorney's office or Attorney Brennan what to do with the murder 2 charge.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. New attorney Hank Brennan, now part of the Commonwealth's team for round 2 against Karen Reed. We'll get a break in here.